Homework help. Yep. It is time for homework help. I hope you're ready. You should be on page 124. Only 3 problems on 124. Let's give them our full attention, shall we? Number 13. You're not going to talk through this as a class. You're going to do this individually. So prepare yourself. Use different methods to find 2 fractions that are equivalent to 3/3. So they want different methods. That means we have to show 2 different ways at least. Let's show the first easiest way to find an equivalent fraction to 3/3. You have 3/3, and if you want to find an equivalent fraction, you can multiply the top and the bottom by the same thing. What shall we multiply the top and the bottom by? We can pick, as long as it's the same thing. Don't pick 1, because that won't change anything. But we can pick 2. That's the next easiest one. And then 3 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3. 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 2 is 6 again. So did you know that 6 over 6 is the same thing as 3 over 3? Want to see a different way? I can show you a different way. Take your 3/3, and before we multiply by the same thing, let's divide by the same thing. Let's divide by 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 3 divided by 3 again is 1. Did you know that 1 over 1 is the same thing as 3 over 3? I can show you one more way if you like. Why not? Why not show you a third way to get you going? Here's a rectangle. We need to make this rectangle 3/3. So there you go. That's pretty good. And now we have to shade in 3 of the pieces. There's 3 pieces and 3 get shaded in. La 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 la. Just pretend I shaded everything, okay? Alright, so I shaded that up, and now I need to make that an equivalent fraction. How about I just draw a line right down the middle? There we go. That's an equivalent fraction. You know what fraction that is? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 6. It's that one right there, but it's in picture form. So there you go. Different methods to find 2 fractions that are equivalent to 3 out of 3. Hooray, we're the best. Explain why you can multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number to make an equivalent fraction. Draw a model to show an example. Let's work with 1 over 2. And since they want a model, you may as well draw that first. So go ahead and draw yourself a little square. Why not? A little square. Now we have to split the square into 2 pieces. Why? I wish I did it more evenly. Hold on, let me try that one more time. It doesn't need to be perfect, but I could do a little better than that. There you go. So 1 over 2 would be 2 pieces with 1 shaded. This shape, pretend that's all shaded. This shape right here is the same thing as that fraction. Now they want us to explain why you can multiply the numerator and denominator by the same number. Well, if I multiply the top, the numerator, and the denominator by 2, I would get 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4. I would get 2/4. And let's draw our model, and we draw it just like this. And look, we added 1 line. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pieces with 1, 2 shaded in. And it's an equivalent fraction, but it's the same thing. So how did this work? Well, let's talk about that right now. It worked because, wait, why you can do that? You can do that because if you treat the numerator and denominator the same, the fraction will be equivalent. Bada bing, bada boom, bada boom, bada blee. Let me shrink that down a little bit so you can see everything a little easier. So hopefully you're beginning to see, if you multiply the same thing on the top and the bottom, you'll get a new fraction, and you can see it in picture form as well. And you can do that because as long as you treat the top and bottom the same, it'll make an equivalent fraction. That's all good. All right, last question for this evening. Fia needs 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar. She only has 1/3 cup measuring cup and a 1/8 cup measuring cup. Which should she use and why? They're asking this. It's a confusing question, so please pay attention. You want to measure 3/4. They really could have. I think they could have worded this better for a kid. Anyway, you want to measure 3/4, okay? And you only have two kinds of cups. You have a 1/3 cup and you have a 1/8 cup. Which one of these two cups would be the best to measure 3/4 with? And you say, oh my gosh, Mr. Gramp, how am I supposed to know that? Like, how would I even... You got to look at both of the different cups, the 1/8 cup and the 1/3 cup, and you have to say to yourself, which one of those can I measure fourths in? Okay? Which one of those can be this? Can I create an equivalent fraction to 3/4 with? Which one of those, specifically on the denominator, the bottom number, which one of those bottom numbers, either the 8 or the 3, can I transform into a 4? And one of those you can transform if you use division. Think about it. You've got 1/3. Can you change that 3 into a 4? No. But you've got 1/8. Can you change that 8 into a 4? Yes. 8 can get turned into a 4 if you divide it by 2. So, this is a tricky question, but here we go. Get ready to write this. You should use the 1/8 cup because fourths and eighths can easily create equivalent fractions with each other. This is because 8 is a multiple of 4. And 4 is a factor of 8. That one I think is pretty tough. I mean, it's just one of those things that you have to be able to see. You know, you have to see that 1/8 has a better relationship with 3/4. Because we can turn 3/4 into 8s, you know. We can multiply the top and the bottom by 2. And if you do that, you get 3 times 2 is 6, and 4 times 2 is 8. And then look, all of a sudden, there's a connection there. 1/8, 6/8. It's like they're the same. They're in the same family. They're both in the eighths family. But 1/3, that'd be a little trickier to work with. All right, guys, that's all the time we have for homework for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow for one more for the week. And and then it's a Thanksgiving break. Oh man, I hope you're as excited about that as I am. All right, see you next time, guys. Bye.